was 5K in debt. I came from a sweeper to be on Barber, to charging $25, to charging $40, to now charging $60.
Yeah.
All within 6 months. Before working with you guys, I was making about $700 per month. Last month, I made $8,500.
And like, bro, what would you say is like some of your biggest, I guess, milestones, like since we started working with you, bro? How did you go from like 600 to like 24K in like 5 months?
By month 1, I was at 600 followers. It was just slow at first until I had some videos like going crazy. And then I think by like month 4 is when I actually blew up. And that month, which was last month, I actually had a goal for myself to get 9,500 followers. The next day, I just spiked to 24,000 followers. I gained like 15,000 followers from that one video. And I just had like a bunch of flow, a bunch of new clients. The last 30 days, I actually got like 100 new clients. But
Damn. And that's at the $60 price.
yeah, that's a $60 price. Bro.
Okay. Do you ever get like recognized?
Yeah, I get recognized a lot.
What's the overall vision, bro? Like, where do you see yourself? Is this a full-time career? Are you gonna get a place? Are you gonna get a car? Like, how about your mom? Like, what are you gonna do now? What's the future?
I'm gonna go all in barbering. Of course, I'm gonna take care of my family, my mom. You're trying to get my own crib too eventually. I want to get my mom a crib. Get a little M3 comp by my senior year. That's another goal.
What is good, YouTube? In this video, I'm gonna share to you guys Yousef's entire journey on how he went from a broke barbershop sweeper working only for tips to making nearly $10,000 in 1 month cutting hair at 17 years old. And just a disclaimer, guys, this video was filmed 2 days before the end of the month, so Yousef ended up finishing off August with $9.6 thousand cash collected just off cutting hair, not 8.5 as mentioned in the video, guys. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Again, I'm super excited for you guys to see this because Yousef has one of the craziest journeys of anyone we've worked with in Cashflow Barbers, and honestly, he's one of the best, most driven people we've had, especially for being so young. It's a little bit longer of a video, so if your attention span is cooked, make sure you stay focused, grab a pen and paper, and get prepared to take away some value from this. What is good, YouTube? I'm here with my boy here, Yousef. He's been working with us for about 5 months now, and he's got some pretty good results. So in this video, I'm gonna break down for you guys basically Yousef's entire story of exactly what he did to scale up his barber business, how his experience was. Yousef, for the people that don't know, go ahead and introduce yourself. Kind of who you are, bro. What is your story? How old are you? Everything, bro. Where you from?
I'm Yousef, known as Sef Cuts. I'm 17 years old. I've been cutting hair for about like a year and a half now.
All right, so run me through kind of what your income was looking like before working with us versus like after.
Before working with you guys, I was making about $700 per month. Last month, I made $8,500.
I mean, you're 17 years old, bro. Like, how did you more than 10x your income cutting hair in just like a few months? And like, bro, what would you say is like some of your biggest, I guess, milestones like since we started working with you, bro? How did you go from like 600 to like 24K in like 5 months?
So it took me like 5 months. So by month 1, I was at 600 followers, and then month 2 is when I got to, I think, like 1,200. It was just slow at first until I had some videos like going crazy, and then I think by like month 4 is when I actually blew up on some videos I posted. So I got around like 5K followers, and that month, which was last month, I actually had a goal for myself to get 9,500 followers. I had low standards for myself, and I had to go for 9,500 followers, and I was reaching to the end of the month. I already passed my goal. I got 9,500 followers, and then what's crazy was the next day, I just spiked to 24,000 followers. I gained like 15,000 followers from that one video. I think it was 10, 15, something around that. But as of right now, it's still going up.
So yeah, bro, like run me through kind of how you even got into like cutting hair in the first place. Like what did you do to actually start cutting hair? Like what were you doing before? You're 17, so like how did you actually get into cutting?
So when I was young, I always wanted money, but to get a job, you actually have to be 16 years old. And my brother was already in the barber game. My cousin was already in the barber game.
So you had like family in the industry and stuff? Okay.
Yeah. So I was getting a haircut by my cousin one day, and he was telling me like, yo, you should come sweep up at the shop for some change, some money. I was like, you know what? Let's do it. I was a kid. I couldn't get a job. So after school, I was just going to the barbershop every day. It wasn't even one barbershop. It was multiple barbershops. I was going sweeping.
So you started off like as a sweeper?
Yeah.
How much were you making sweeping the barbershop?
Honestly, I can't like think of a number in mind, but I'd remember I'd walk out with like maybe like $50 a day.
So how long ago was like the whole sweeping thing? Like how long ago were you actually like sweeping up the shop?
I was sweeping the shop in, I think, 2021. Oh, I started cutting. So actually on my 16th birthday was when I was actually going to apply to my first actual job. But then my brother surprised me with some clippers and, an air compressor too. So I was cutting in my bedroom for about 3 months.
So like how long ago were you cutting hair in your bedroom? Like how long ago was that?
I was cutting, I think that was like a year and 7 months ago.
So less than 2 years ago, you were cutting in your bedroom. Okay, so if you did 8.5 times 12 is like over 100K, right? So you're 17 years old. You went from cutting hair in your bedroom, right? And in less than 2 years, you're now on pace to make over 100K a year while still being a high schooler from cutting hair.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think it is that actually different? Because there's a ton of barbers out there who are cutting hair. They're your age. They're in high school. They might even be younger. They might even be older. Because most barbers, right, are like 30 and they still can't even hit 100K a year. Like, what is it that makes you, the way you run your business, what actually like makes you different from all these other people, you know, and how are you able to hit these numbers that like most people just dream of hitting? And you did it within 2 years as well.
Honestly, I didn't really take this serious until I started seeing numbers, and I actually just thought to myself, I was like, I never actually knew I was going to at least make more than 2,000 a month. I thought I was just going to be doing this for fun, just charge 25, maybe 40 one day.
Yeah, so like what was the actual shift, bro? Like, what do you think shifted your kind of perception of barbering from just like a little side hustle, like, you know, a fun replacement, something to do for fun with your friends? Like, what shifted that for you from that to actually like, you know, I'm assuming, I don't know if you're planning to go to college or not. I don't know, like what is your plans for the future with barbering? And like, before we get into that though, like, yeah, what was the actual time that like you kind of realized, hey, like this is something that I can make a lot of money from. Like, this is something that's actually doing well, right? This is not like a little side hustle that I run with my friends. This is a real business. Like, at what point did you realize that?
I realized that ever since I started actually structuring my days out, having a routine, posting at times, editing at certain times, and just making sure I'm keeping myself busy. There's more than that. What made me making more than 6 figures just by cutting hair honestly just changed my mind. Like,
what did you expect to happen? Did you ever expect to make this type of money cutting hair?
Nah.
What did you expect to make?
I expected to make like $2,000, maybe like 2 to 3K, like maybe per year, maybe like 30K just by cutting hair. Honestly, I was just gonna cut hair just for high school. It's for fun, make some money, maybe get a car, and then go to college right after. I was thinking of actually becoming a lawyer, but I'm not gonna lie, like these past 5 months, I changed my mind. Like,
what do you think that was? Like, you just saw the possibility with the income, or it's just like what?
I saw the possibility with the income. I like to do what I do. Like making money from TikTok, being in the content creator program, like making money while I sleep instead of work, doing something I didn't want to do. Like, a lawyer was the best option for me. I saw how much lawyers make, and it was all just about the money. But for barbering and for how I run my business, is I like how like I could do things whenever I want and how I structure my things.
Yeah, but it's like most barbers, right? They don't really like, well, I guess what would you tell the people that might have been in your position, like they're considering making barbering a career, but they just feel like this type of money like isn't possible, right? And so they'd probably rather choose like a traditional career over cutting hair because they feel like, you know, they need to pick a safe route to make money.
Yeah, honestly, what I would tell you guys, barbering is a real career for sure. You know, everyone in my shop was always telling me like, yeah, like you're not gonna really go crazy with this. Just go to college right after, go to college. And I had friends that would tell me like, yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie, just stop cutting hair. It's a little side hustle, get a job on the side too. It's not gonna last you. It's not a fixed income. I would tell the other barbers that were in my position, when I was a beginner, I always thought the fade had to be perfect, the haircut had to be perfect. But honestly, once I started charging $40, my haircuts weren't that good. I think as every barber when they first began, they always thought the taper had to be so good. How do I say it?
Like a perfectionist?
Yeah, the perfectionist. You had to make sure the fade was perfect and decent.
So like, did you have any struggles originally, like running the barber business, right? Like, obviously you're young, you were charging like a lower price, you were the youngest one in the shop. Like, did that come with any struggles? Were you working long hours, right? Were you getting underpaid? Like, what were some early struggles you faced when running the barber biz?
Hell yeah, bro. I actually faced a lot of struggles. I'm just catching up on booth rent, catching every walk-in I can see, making sure I can like collect every client, making sure I can get the money. And with my mom too, just telling me to focus on school. So I would always want to cut hair, but then my mom would just be telling me, nah, just go there like 2 times a week or something. And I was just trying to make the best at it and just trying to cut and just get better, like 1% better every day.
Yeah, I know I was coming up cutting hair in high school. How did you personally like manage that, right? Because a lot of people make excuses. They say they can't hit these numbers because they're in school, they're in high school, they're in college. Like, did you ever have any doubts? Did you ever have any like moment where you wanted to quit, or you were like, is this even possible, bro? Like, I'm still in school. Like, why don't I wait until I finish school to focus on growing my business?
Honestly, if you're young and if you're in high school or even middle school or even younger, honestly, I built systems for school. So as I said, I do structure my days. I do my homework I do my videos. It's honestly not that hard. It's not that bad. I just manage my time. Time is so important. You got to manage your time. You can't just follow. You can't just go with the flow, you know? You have to structure your days out. So just having an objective every day, having a plan, managing your time, just making sure you're hitting what I call inputs every day.
So what does that look like?
For me, what it looks like is like when I wake up before school. I hit the gym, get it out the way, knock it out the way, go home, shower, then go to school after that. I'm not gonna lie, like during lunch, I'll edit my videos. I'll always do my work during school. I never do it outside of school. Outside of school is business. I get off school and then that's when I go to the barber shop, record some content. I at least record more than 3 to 4 videos per day to have more videos in the vault for me to edit later.
Cool. And then like, again, early on, bro, you're only 16 when you started cutting hair. I was only 17. Like a lot of our friends, a lot of the people in school, bro, being in high school, like they're going to make fun of you. They're going to tell you certain things. Like, was there ever a moment that you wanted to quit because you were like, oh, bro, like all these people are telling me it's not for me? Like, how was that?
I've had so many times where I actually like just stopped cutting hair. Like, I think it was like 2 times. There was this click that I got, like I couldn't just, what I said before was that I always make sure the tapers were clean. Honestly, I was just worried about what people think about me, and that's why I was so worried. And people were just always telling me to stop cutting hair. You know, they were telling me to put the fries in the bag. They were telling me just like, you know, like, what are you doing? Like, it's not a real career. Like, your ass, your buns, you're a bad barber. Like, I got all those type of stuff, and it actually got to me until like I'm not gonna throw all my work away for nothing. I'm not gonna just cut for like a whole like 7 months, just throw it away just because of what people think about me. It was a hard pill to swallow. Honestly, I just had to just thug it out, and I picked my clippers back up. I was just cutting. And then that's when I started recording some videos.
Yeah. So like, did you ever have people doubting? Did you ever have people telling you that like you wouldn't be able to charge what you charge? Did you ever have people telling you that your haircuts weren't good enough? Because a lot of barbers feel like their haircuts aren't good enough to charge whatever.
When I was turning 25, and we immediately, I think we went up to $40 immediately. Bro, my messages, the group chats I was in, everyone was telling me like, bro, what are you doing? There were clients, friends, high schoolers, even the people in my shop were telling me that too. And that's when I started charging the same amount as the barbers that were cutting more than me. And that's when I was like, dang, like that's when I was like, it just clicked. I was like, damn, I'm really charging. Because in our shop, it ran like the $40 price point was only for barbers who've been cutting for a year. And for like a year and a half, I moved up to the second level.
Just like for the viewers that don't know how that was in your shop works.
So at first, as I said, when I was cutting in barber school, it was on the first floor. I was cutting my room for about like 4 months. And then my brother connected me to the owner of that shop. And that's when I got a station downstairs in the barber school, cutting the walk-ins. And there's 2 levels to that barber shop. Downstairs is the barber school, the upstairs is the actual barber shop. The big dogs are upstairs. When I first moved upstairs, I was really nervous. You know, I was charging the same amount as the other barbers were, and they were cutting more than like 5 years. It was really awkward to me because...
Did you ever feel like people doubted you, or like you just weren't like, you weren't worthy of the price that you charged or anything?
Yeah, of course. Just like, as I said, like all that like heat on me, like my coworkers, my friends, my high schoolers, the comments, just everyone just telling me like, why am I charging $40? Why am I charging $40? My haircuts are not that good. That's why I said like...
So like, do you feel like with your growth being so quick, you know, that was like obviously you have unnaturally quick growth, like you 10x your business in like 5 to 6 months, right? Like looking back, do you feel like, I don't know, people's reactions were like justified? Like, do you feel like, I don't know, how do you feel about it?
I feel like there were just people, I feel like a lot of people were envious toward me, and I feel like a lot of people had some sort of hate towards me. Like, I'm not trying to sound corny, but I feel like I moved up to like a different level. That's when I started like noticing, like I did the math, like people were working, like my friends were working in like fast food places or like retail places. They were just making like, I'm making triple the amount they're making per hour. I was charging $40 per haircut. It was just weird, but I was still getting hate, you know what I mean?
What about like in the barber industry? Like, did any barbers ever tell you that like you're charging too high?
Yeah, so I had barbers telling me like, oh, you're charging 40 now, I gotta charge 60 now. You know,
because I know being the youngest one in a barber shop, like it does come with a lot.
Yeah,
it's like, what was your experience like that, being one of the youngest people in your barber shop, yet you're charging pretty much the same, if not more, than all these barbers that are like 5-10 years older than you?
I was young and I was charging the same amount as the other barbers were charging, and that's when I realized like I'm progressing every day. Like, I always have a goal. When I achieve it, I have another goal. There's always a goal at the end of the day.
So like in the 5 months, right, do you feel like, did you surpass your goal? What was your original goal going into this? What was your expectation of like progress, realistic progress in like 5 months? And did you surpass that goal? Did you not even achieve that goal? Like, what was your original, like, where'd you expect to be right now?
Honestly, I expected like a little like middle wage income, probably like around 4,000, 3,000 per.
Bro, it's like you say middle wage income. That's like the average barber's income, like 3 to 4K a month.
Yeah.
So you expected, I guess, to what? You were at like 700 a month. You expected to be like 3 to 4K a month within 5 months.
Yeah.
And like now, how does that compare? Did you ever expect to even, hit that number of 8.5 in 1 month so quick?
Honestly, I thought like I'd be capped. I thought I'd like on a serious note, I thought I'd at least be making like 5K, but last month was just crazy. Like I saw the numbers, like as I said, like I tracked my numbers with the sheet you gave me.
Yeah.
Tracking my numbers actually helps me so much. It helps me track my money, my finances. I just know how much profit I make, how much money I'm spending. And so I'm just like making sure I just have good spending habits.
Okay, cool. And how was that? How long did it take to build up? Like how important do you think it is to build that discipline of financing, managing your finances, your spending, stuff like that? How important is that, especially for someone young?
It's really important because when you're young, you obviously want to go out, eat food. It's like a habit. You buy one thing, then you just keep buying. You're like, oh, that's nothing. You just keep buying. Buying. Bro, I was making like around, I think it was February, like until February, I was making like 2,000 per month, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like checking my tracking shit. I'm like, whoa. Like I'm spending 2,000, I'm making 2,000. I'm broke. I'm just spending all my money.
Yeah.
I'm just spending all my money. All the money I'm making, I'm just spending it all.
Yeah.
Like where's the $2,000 going?
How common of an issue do you think that is in the barber industry of people like just blowing through everything they make?
Bro, that's honestly so common. Like not even with barbers, or just people. Like me tracking my money while still spending a lot, while other people who don't even track their money, they just spend OC. Like
yeah. So did you ever feel like, there was a point where you got stuck? Like, was your content not working? Did you fall off? Did your parents not support you? Did your friends not support you? Like, did you ever feel like stuck? Like you weren't growing?
I never actually believed in the content thing in the first place. I never even believed content was going to get me clients. But yeah.
Why were you posting content then, like before?
Honestly, I was just posting content just to have like an image. So if someone searches my name up, they could just search me up, and I'll just post my best haircut on there.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like with my mom, like she believed in me, but there's like some times where I doubted that she did. Like just tell me to focus more on school. But what else did you ask me?
Did you ever feel like you were stuck, you weren't growing, or there was a time where you fell off?
Yeah, bro. For sure, bro. For 3 months, I was at a fixed income. I was literally just making the same amount while spending literally over it. Literally, bro, just spending all my money.
Yeah. How did you actually like break past that plateau in business?
I broke past it honestly by just a lot of distractions. I know so much time I was wasting, so I kind of limited going out. I kind of stopped talking to a lot of people. I low-key just started focusing on my mentality, just distracting myself with things that are better to do.
Like what?
So like literally I was never going to the gym, but ever since I started going to the gym, I've distracted instead of going out to eat and stuff, I instead went to the gym.
What did you do to like break past that plateau? What changed to like get unstuck?
Not all money is good money.
Yeah, like what are like some lessons you learned, I guess, along the way?
Some lesson I learned, like there's always people, once you're under, not gonna lie, when you're at that $40 price range, there's just clients who just don't care. There's clients that just book an appointment, who don't respect their time, who are always late, just show up late or just cancel last minute. Yeah, always be frustrated because like that's my money, bro, or you're just canceling last minute. Once I started going up in price, I noticed like client change like crazy, like from $10 to $15 to $25. I was known as a cheap barber, and I hated that. Like when you told me, like when you notice people telling me that like I was a cheap barber, or when you notice the comments,
it's like people went
to me because I was a cheap barber.
Yeah. And so like now that you're charging more premium price, like you still feel like people are going to you because you're cheap, or do you feel like why do they come to you now?
Honestly, no. I love my clientele. The clientele who are coming to me right now, if anything, they give me more. I have like daily clients who give me more than $100 per cut.
What was the most you ever got from a cut? And what do you have to say to the barbers that say that no one would ever pay $100 for a cut, or let alone 60?
I mean, the most I've gotten from a cuts was honestly just more than 120. I had a couple house calls too. I had this one house call where I had 2 people. I got like $600 from it.
Cool. And then like, what was the most you ever made from like a haircut at the barbershop?
The barbershop, I think I made 800 a day. 800 in this one.
What about like in one haircut too?
One haircut?
Yeah.
Oh, one haircut I made, I think my most was, it was a after hour haircut, but it was $120, but he gave me more because he liked the cut and he respected my time. So I got 150.
Nice. And like, yeah, again, like what do you have to say to the barbers that are going to say that no one's ever going to pay that type of money? No one's even going to pay 60 for a cut. Like, what would you tell those people?
What I'll tell you guys is there's your clientele, your people, your viewers have to know who you really are. You can't just be that one barber who just posts content just to post. They have to know who you are. You got to talk to your client. You have to have a good consultation with your client. Just having a good relationship with your client.
Yeah, for sure. Did you ever feel like you were too young to make the money that you made?
Honestly, yeah, I was just too young. Like thing is, even when I was 16, when I turned 16, when I wanted to get a part-time job, my mom did not want me to get a job. She just wanted me to stay home all the time. But honestly, like I couldn't just stay home and just play video games all day. I had to like eventually come out of that phase and stop playing video games. And eventually, I needed money. Actually no, I needed to make some sort of money. I needed to do something. I need to do some change. I come from not a really like rich background. Like eventually, this is one day it just clicked. Like I can't, I'm trying to become the first millionaire.
Yeah.
Like no one ever had solid vision in my family. I think everyone just lives the same cycle. Just wants to live by the day. Just not do anything to get out the comfort zone.
So like, what did getting out of your comfort zone look like for you within your business?
I took the biggest risk.
Yeah.
Biggest comfort zone I did. So when I first had my first onboarding call with you, when I started working with you, I had no money. I only had, I think, like, I'm not gonna lie, as I said, I was spending all my money. I had like $400 to my name. I talked to my mom about it. I had a whole conversation where I was asking her, like, loan me some money for that. I'll pay her back. She's like, nah, it's a scam. You're not able to do it. Like, you got school you gotta focus on. I was so hungry. I was tired of being in the same position. Like, I didn't want to keep cutting walk-ins. I didn't want to keep cutting disrespectful clients. I didn't want to get bitched out all the time. So I loaned money from a friend. I had to make it work, because if I didn't make it work, I would not give his money back. And obviously I have to pay him back. I joined, I was scared, I was worried. When I first joined, and when you told me to go up to 40, I was like, what? Well, I was so confused. I was like, what? I can't do this. Like, I had such low standards of myself. I didn't know I could actually do it. I went to 40. I was so nervous. I was so scared. I got comfortable. I had a little fall off in the winter. I was honestly just spending all my money going out. I didn't know what I was doing in my life, honestly. I was like, damn, cook.
So what made you like refocus? You set new goals for yourself?
I set new focus, some Canada events happened, some stuff happened, set some new goals, eventually just locked in. What made my business better was I actually fired most of my clients who were actually rude, disrespectful. If anything, I made it better.
Yeah.
Because I replaced their spots with people who would actually value my time.
Yeah.
And who would actually respect.
Yeah. So like a lot of people say when you go up on price, you're going to lose clients, right? Like how's your experience with losing clients? Is that really a bad thing for you, or you ever
Honestly, it was a good thing. Since I was really booked out, all my new clients couldn't really book in, and no one wants a haircut. No one wants to book a haircut a week in advance.
Yeah.
They want that haircut now.
Yeah.
Honestly, what I did, it was like I drained like most of the clients out that I didn't really need, and I just had like a bunch of new clients.
Yeah. What's the most amount of new clients you ever got in a month? Was that this month?
Yeah, actually it was this month. 100 new clients. Last month was I think was 93 clients.
Okay. Damn. Okay. Nice. So yeah, bro, like what initially made you want to make the change? What initially made you actually want to get help scaling? Like why not just try to figure it out on your own?
I tried doing that. I didn't see no results. I was just throwing whatever at the wall and hoping whatever sticks.
Yeah. Like how was it invest into yourself for the first time? Like getting help scaling, like actually working with someone who can, help you scale, like give you a plan.
Yeah, it was a lot of money. I was scared to make the investment. I was really worried because, as I said, there was people telling me not to do it, and I was getting trolled about doing it. Like I eventually I eventually thought of like just quitting, and I was actually gonna like work a 9 to 5 while cutting hair so I could pay my friend back. But what made me not want to do it was like, why make all that progress? As I said, like I did this full thing not to work a 9 to 5. Why would I go back to square one?
Yeah.
To do all that again.
Exactly.
And when I seen other people who actually succeeded.
So like what shifts did you have to make with yourself, bro? Like were you ever camera shy? Were you ever like lazy, unmotivated, worried about what other people think? Like what actually changed in you, to go from the version of yourself that was charging 40 to, or even 25 to now 60? Like what actually changed in you as a person?
I always thought I would get like a bad angle on myself, or I'd sound weird, or like if the video blew up, everyone would see it, and it was just a little uncomfortable. But that's how I'm gonna run my business. That's how I'm gonna scale, and that's what I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah. And then like, were you more lazy back then, or you more disciplined now? Like, how do you feel like your habits have changed?
Yeah, I was really lazy. I would always just wake up late, go to sleep whenever I want, play video games until like 4 a.m. I have more direction now because now I actually I structure my days. I make sure not to lose momentum, because once you lose momentum, that's when the domino effect comes in. Momentum by just keep doing what you're doing, but getting better by the day.
Now, what does everyone think, right? Your parents, your friends, right? Do they still doubt that this is possible, or how do they feel about like, your success? And have you ever been like recognized? Like have your clients started paying you more, respecting you more? Like what's actually the change looking like?
Actually,
how's life now?
I actually had to talk to my mom a couple of days ago. I was like, Mom, what if I never like started working with Bristol? Like, what would I have been now? She's like, she was apologizing, it actually felt really, really good. She was apologizing, she was like, oh, I can pay you right now. I'm like, nah, straight. But like, she was just telling me, like, she was apologizing, because, foreign parents, like, they don't really see the vision. And right now, like, it's low-key uncomfortable. Like, back now in school, a lot of people just come up to me, it's low-key awkward, but like, it's uncomfortable. Like, I actually have my clients, like, a lot of my clients ask to take pictures with me.
Tell a story if you got like recognized in public or in school.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I actually started my first week of high school, going into junior year this week. I was walking in, I thought it was gonna be some I thought it was gonna be some normal kids in one of my classes. It's really awkward. There's a bunch of people start coming up to me.
Damn, so like, you guys
Started at 60. Yeah.
You notice a change with the clients, like respecting you more, paying you more,
Yeah,
family, friends, coworkers.
Yeah, so I actually had clients who actually just come pay me more than 60. They're coming for the time. Like, they're getting their haircut and they're talking to me. I'm giving them advice for some things they talk about. Like, just having that conversation with the client.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say to the barbers that are stuck at 3 to 5K? And like also like, for the people that might be trying to figure it out on their own or just putting off, making a change, what would you tell those people?
What I'll tell those people, I would invest in yourself. What are you realistically saving? What are you doing with your money right now? What I used to do is just save my money, just save it up until it just racks up. So I have to put it in another shoebox or in another shoebox. Realistically, what are you saving for? What is your why? Like, my why was I had to get my car. I had to invest in my gym membership.
So like you said, you're saving up for a car. Like most people would say that this is counterproductive. Right? It's gonna take you longer to get the car if you spend money investing back into it.
Yeah,
especially like so much money.
It would have took me like way longer trying to get a $20,000 car, making $700 a month, bro. That is not happening.
What was the moment you realized you needed to actively increase your income instead of saving?
You need to spend your money on the right things. You can't spend your money on bullshit. What I always do is, if I ever want to get something nice, I have to reward myself. Like, I make sure I reward myself. If I accomplish something, I reward myself with something nice. I'd rather make my $3,000 that I lost like quicker than just waiting 4 years to get my car. So the $3,000, I would rather lose that than to do it. Like, I still had some doubt in my mind that it wasn't gonna work out. Honestly, like, I'd rather lose $3,000 than $20,000. Honestly, what I would tell you is just to don't go with the flow. Honestly, don't go with the flow. You want to honestly do better. Like, don't have low standards for yourself. I really had low standards for myself. On my wall,
like low expectations.
Like, I had such low expectations. Like, every month I have goals for myself. Right? I'll read them to you right now. Make 3.5K. This is how low I was thinking of myself. Reach 9.5K followers and be prepared for yourself. And I actually had to like slap myself. I had to keep slapping myself because I went from my goal going from 3.5K to 8.5K.
Yeah.
I felt stuck. I felt like I was in a constant loop. I felt like I needed someone who went through the struggles that I'm going through just to give me like that help and that feedback.
Yeah. So like, what would you say to the barber that thinks they can keep doing this on their own, and what would you say to the barber that thinks that investing into themselves is too expensive?
I mean, what else are you gonna do? You're just gonna try yourself? You're just keep doing it yourself, or would you rather go to someone who went through the same struggles? It was expensive for me. What I did, I made it work. I loaned money. I just made it work. I had to make it work. What made me do that was I just didn't want to be stuck in the same cycle. I didn't really see myself going anywhere. As I said, I was living a loop. So let's see where this takes me. The cost of staying stuck was I was just spending everything I was making. I dropped a lot of habits, spending habits, going out a lot.
Compare like working with someone versus trying to figure it out on your own. What do you think is the benefit of working with somebody else?
You have someone else's second perspective. You have someone watching, telling you what to do.
Did you feel like you know what to do on your own?
Nah. I mean, at first, yeah, I did think I knew what I was doing. I just had Instagram, I had ChatGPT. I can ask AI. But honestly, yeah, like, that did not help me at all.
Okay, and like, what would you tell the person that thinks they can figure it out on their own?
Getting help is way better instead of just wasting time and trying to figure it out on your own. If you've tried doing this yourself, where have you gone? Like, what have you done to do it? I plan on actually opening up my own barbershop this year, like the most probably my senior year. Like, that would be one of my greatest achievements. That could be something I could tell my kids. Opening a barbershop at my senior year. The end of junior year, I most definitely see myself charging $100 per cut. And for senior year, I see myself working in the barbershop that I own.
How much do you expect to be making like by the time you graduate high school?
By the time I graduate high school, with the content creator program on TikTok, with the haircuts I'm doing, I say I could easily hit like 20K per month with 3 sources of income.
So you think you'll go from 8K to 20K in like the next 2 years?
Hell yeah. With the work that I put in,
And what's the overall vision, bro? Like, where do you see yourself? Is this a full-time career? Are you gonna get a place? Or are you gonna get a car? Like, help out your mom? Like, what are you gonna do now? What's the future? You're gonna go all in on barbering? You're gonna go to college?
I'm gonna go all in barbering Of course, I'm gonna take care of my family, my mom. Trying to get my own crib too eventually. Maybe get a crib from. I want to get my mom a crib. You know, get a little M3 comp by my senior year. That's another goal. Hey, I'm gonna get that M3 comp by senior year.
Yeah, how does life feel, bro? Like now compared to 5 or 6 months ago overall?
I mean, life feels good. Like I started noticing a lot of people notice a lot of changes in me. They notice like how my habits, my old habits, and how I'm just more mature. You know, I used to always be a troll.
What was the biggest breakthrough? Right, and then any final words to any barbers that are in your situation or just kind of on the fence about investing into themselves or just taking a step to bring the business, like to grow the business, push the business forward? Like, what would you say to those people? And what was your biggest breakthrough personally?
Honestly, my biggest breakthrough, I feel like everyone has it different. With me, my mom didn't want to help me. There's probably people out there if you can convince your parents to do it, but there's always a way to do it. I loaned money from a friend. You can't try it out on your own to see where it takes you. Take action now. If you're young or if you're at a point where you don't like where you're at right now, honestly, it's investment. So if nothing changes, what's really going to change? You got to just take that step and just get out that comfort zone.
So that pretty much wraps up the video for you guys. Hopefully you guys got some value out of it. Again, I know I said this before, but Yousef is one of the most disciplined, hardworking young people that we've ever worked with, especially for somebody his age. And honestly, dude, you guys already know what to do, man. You guys know the results that we get with Cashflow Barbers. I don't even need to sit here and pitch it to you guys. You guys have probably already watched 3 or 4 YouTube videos from me and are just doom scrolling on the page. So why don't you guys take action? Go in the bio and see how you can actually become like Yousef instead of just sitting here scrolling all day doing research wishing it was you, right? It's Q4, guys. You guys already know what it is. Everyone's building crazy momentum. Everyone's hitting their best months. Let's win together, man. You guys know what to do. Again, link in bio so you can see how we can help you out.